Previously on Royalty Reality TV show.
Thank you so much for pushing me to this point. I'm a semi-finalist. I'm heading to the finals soon. I appreciate the love.
Not everyone made it to this point, but I'm here, and it's all because of you all. So I want to say a big thank you to all of you.
When are you people bringing your brides?
How can the prince be interested in the second daughter when the first one is there? For my younger sister, when I'm still in this house, not married, it will never happen.
Just eat, relax. Okay, let me go.
Are there all these fruits for me?
Help! Who is in the house? Up!
Hey!
I was just hungry. I had to poison her. Hey! See my Ada,
Clap for them.
Royal reality, royal reality, this is reality, yelele ama, yelele ama,
The royalties have the chance to explore their creative writing skills in their short story task.
Okay, so it's like I got chocolates today and like every other day. But right now I don't know where I am. The only thing I remember is being hit by pestle by my mother and father. I miss my father, my actual father, because he was everything to me. He was my best friend and we had all our moments together. But then the day he died, I insisted he come pick me up and I feel responsible for his death. My mother feels the same. She hates me. I also hate myself. My mother gets married to someone else and I know he cannot replace my father, but then it's not bad having someone to call father. Turns out I was wrong. He abused me. My mother does not believe me. She thinks I'm trying to destroy her marriage.
And the title of my story is The Incorruptible Judge.
The
Incorruptible Judge.
okay.
Once upon a time, there was a beautiful kingdom called the Royal Mansion. And this kingdom was so beautiful and small that it never had a leader who was going to be in charge or in control of this kingdom. But this kingdom actually had a kingmaker called General Mogatu, and the whole villages around it were envious because it was endowed with natural beauty and endowment. So General Mogatu sent messages across the villages that he needed to get someone who was going to represent the royal mansion. So all the villages decided to send one representative each to General.
My phone was critically low, like a score that it was just 1% remaining. Even though I wasn't expectant enough to expect an expected call, neither was there an emergency to call the emergency line for help. I still rushed like an ambulance out of my room with a USB cable collected in my hand, with a plan to first aid this victim of low battery, knowing the score. It needed critically a life support of charging to gain some resuscitation. But before I left for the car, which was the only surety in the absence of a power bank, somehow, like APC, I had to change my mind.
The title of my story is The Rising of Modern Nigeria.
The
Rising. Of-
devising. Okay.
Yes. Of
Kindly
modern,
be audible, please.
of modern Nigeria. Once upon a time, there was a woman called Modern Nigeria. She was beautiful, elegant, woman of substance. She was blessed with 36 children. They lived happily with a lot of memories until one day Mother Nigeria fell sick and needed to be healed. So her children were not happy. All tried looking for ways to help their mother come back to her normal stature. Many of them tried. One brought chief priest.
I born into a family of 9, being the only girl with so many brothers. Both parents, one in the army, that's my dad, my mom, really educated. They're very strict, do average anyway, but they had so much rules to guide my life growing up. My life was basically restricted to so much. They didn't give me space to do things that was going to give me joy or make me happy. I was being followed up even to school. After secondary school, got into the higher institution. I was being followed up. I was being monitored back to back. I had passion for career to do sports. I was being followed to the stadium and everywhere I went to. And until this very fateful day, that was in 2005, September precisely, in Aguiyi Cantonment, Asokoro, I saw this.
Brenda, a young, beautiful, and smart lady in her early 20s, brown skin, tall, with a sparkling set of teeth, walks into Dante's room. A young man in his late 20s. "Hey, buddy, what's up?" she says as she sits beside him. They laugh and talk excitedly. "You keep getting prettier by the day," says Dante as he reaches to caress her. At first, Brenda didn't read any meaning to it till his hand reaches her cleavages. "What are you doing?" She tries to withdraw from him, but Dante held her so tight to his body. "Please don't do this," Brenda begs Dante as he tries forcing himself on her. She tries to free herself from his grip.
There is a girl called Emanuela, a 300-level student in the University of Benin. She came from a family of 8, a parent and 5 siblings. She's a go-getter and a determined girl. Her father is a civil servant and a politician. A very comfortable home and peaceful home. Until when Emanuela's father became sick, everyone in the family was worried. The two came here and there just to save his life from one hospital to the other. But unfortunately, they lost him in the process. Emanuela became shattered and depressed because our father was the only.
In a community called Ile-Ife in Oyo, there lived a man called Mr. Bola, who at that time was a native doctor and had 3 kids, 2 males and 1 female child. And his wife, Bose, who is a naive woman, fondly called a village woman, who sells fish in one of the bush markets. And the man trained the kids by giving them the impression that education is not meant for the youth. The girl grew up knowing that from the father, because the girl's name is Pelumi and the 2 brothers are Kehinde and Adekunle. So the girl grew up understanding from the father's impression that as a female child, you only have a place in the kitchen and as a wife to a husband.
rush hour traffic, or a great spot to enjoy the view. A hot day, or a chance to get closer. The regular motions of work, or a moment for ingenuity and unexpected creativity. Because when you look, there's joy to be found anywhere, and joy will find you. Fan Milk.
I hail from Nasarawa State, Nigeria, Wamba local government. I was born in Suleja, Niger State. I grew up in Abuja here. I have a house along Airport Road here. I'm from a family of 6. I'm the eldest son. We are 2 boys and 4 girls. Growing up was so challenging because I'm not from a wealthy family, not at all, not even an average family. I'm from poor background. Yeah, so even to survive growing up, I think I practically assisted my mother to daily job to raise money for feeding. And in 2010, my mom and my dad got divorced. That was where the journey of my life started. Because I had to do so much to help the family, 5 siblings. Because my mom didn't have the opportunity of growing with any of us. It was practically me that became the mother of the house. Took out of 5 younger ones. At 2013, my dad remarried. So he really wanted me to go to school, but with his financial status, I couldn't. So I got to learn how to fix phones. Even though there was an argument between me and him, he wanted me to go to school. I asked him, how do you expect me to go to school when you might not even be capable of sponsoring me and my siblings? So I like, don't worry, focus on them.
It all started when Victoria is living with her parents. Her parents are very wealthy and rich, and she's a pampered lady. Her parents are taking good care of her. When the parents wanted to travel outside country, unfortunately they had a plane crash, which led them to both of them died. And her uncle promised to take good care of her with the property and his 2 kids and his wife, which she packed into the uncle's apartment. They started living. Then after some weeks, the uncle started maltreating her with the wife. They don't give her good food. They collected all the father's property and the little she had. So she did all the house chores. She cleaned and...
One time, a mother gave birth to a baby girl, and she was named Uzo. Uzo was the last child in the family of 6. Few months after the birth of Uzo, her father was poisoned, and the doctors were unable to save him. And then he passed on. After the burial rite and everything, according to Igbo tradition, the father's brothers came down to claim the properties and everything, including the 3 sons of Uzo's mother, asking her to take care of the daughters, that they don't need the daughters. The mother fought her ground and didn't allow any of them go with her children.
In our country today, you see a lot of underage boys within the range of 15 to 17 wanting to compete with men who are more older than them and have become successful in their various businesses over time. These boys forget that they still have a long way to go, and most of them are still in secondary school and higher institutions. But because of the love for money and wanting to live a life of luxury at a tender age, get big cars, use expensive phones, go to clubs, and it make them engage themselves in a lot of illicit activities like money rituals, armed robbery, kidnapping. But believe if you can be patient, as they say, patient is a virtue, and also not allow the love for money gets control over us, but us control it. I believe these indecent acts will be put to an end.
It's a family started very well. We're 5 in numbers, 3 girls and 2 boys. Then my dad is a seafarer and also a business person, and we were at our place in Adonima. Most times before travels, he takes me to any of his siblings' house instead of I being with his wife because of my health issues. So he would always want me to be taken good care of while in his absence. So along the line, we moved to Port Harcourt City, where I and just my second, 4th son moved in with him. But though while we were living with him, he has been traveling off and on like that because of his kind of person. So as at then, I and my brother will be left with my aunt, either going to their place or most time we'll stay alone. My cousin comes, cook, provide everything at home. So at a point, there was a day I had the strong feelings about him, but because I was still naive and though I was 10 then, so I couldn't really figure out what was going on. Not until my cousin sister came and delivered a message. I don't know the content of the message. Then she left. Then he woke up and it was like he's traveling to our place for a funeral. He left. He didn't return that day. We were still kind of skeptical.
Okay. Danny was 12-year-old when he left his parents to a distant auntie because of his father's death. In order to go to school, because his parents didn't have the money to train him in school. After going to secondary school, he dropped in JSS 3 and wanted to go back to his parents because his childhood has been abused. All these years, he was with the distant auntie. Danny wanted to start his senior secondary, so he started doing menial jobs to save up some money to pay his school fees. Years later, the boy graduated from high school and managed to raise money and wrote JAMB exam. He passed and got admission into the university. He was able to do his clearance.
Hannah is the only child of Mr. and Mrs. Abraham. Mr. Abraham is a well-known businessman that is married to one of the most beautiful women named Mary. Mr. Abraham is a kind-hearted man that loves his family more than anything, and his only child, Hannah, was sent overseas to study. So she lived all her life abroad. Mr. Abraham has one wicked brother named Izzy. Izzy was very jealous over his brother's wealth, that he had to spread false rumor about his brother, that he used his wife's womb for money ritual, and that's why they have just one child. But even at that, Mr. Abraham still loved his brother and kept sending him money to take care of himself and his family. However, Izzy's friend advised him to kill his brother so he can take over his brother's wives and property. After several attempts to kill his brother, Once upon a time, in a town called Ogoyemagongo in Kogi State, there lived a beautiful couple, Mr. and Mrs. Joseph, and averagely okay. He was averagely okay with everything. The husband was a farmer, while the wife has a shop along the street where she sells things. Their love life was so unique and strong that everyone noticed that on time. In churches, anywhere they go to, you will notice them on time. She was so pretty that everyone in the village always admire her and use her as example to their wife, or either name their kids after her. So, but though they never had a child. As time passed, there were pressures.
Annie.
Okay.
Title of my story is The Missing Child. It's a true life story.
Okay.
Stephen was a very promising lad that grew up in an average Nigerian home. He lost his dad at the age of 17. He hails from Akwa Ibom State as the sixth child of 8 children. He's a BSc holder in computer science from the prestigious University of Calabar. One fateful day, Stephen got a call from one of his friends that asked him to meet him up somewhere. Meanwhile, earlier that day, his elder brother Donald had asked him to return his car so he can use it and go out for an appointment he had. But Stephen decided to go see his friend first. He took his bath, got dressed and stepped out. That was the last time Stephen's family and friends heard from him. Jane, Stephen's younger sister, and the last child of
It's about 2 lovely couple that got married, and God blessed them with a set of twins. The man also had a good job, a good paid job. 15 years later, the man lost his job and things turned from bad to worst. Luckily for them, the woman got an offer to work in the US, so they both agreed for her to go first. Later, they will join her. 1 year later, she came back, and her daughter told her that their dad has been sleeping with them. He always raped them, and they don't want to stay with their dad again. She got angry and confronted her husband.
Biography. Living and growing up as a child was not fun and games as expected. I had my fair share of troubles and sorrows. I and my siblings were born in Cameroon to our parents who struggled so much to make life meaningful for us. Being the last child, I never had the luxury of last child benefits because my parents could not afford it. I work hard as every other person to make ends meet. It was traumatizing to see my father cry all night and pray to God for a miracle. My parents are honest and hardworking people, and I'm proud of them. As a student, I had to engage in farming to assist my family in one way or the other. My family moved back to Nigeria. It was not easy, but God came through. After some months,
today, let's hear it in 5 minutes.
Okay. My story is titled The Bond.
Okay.
Henry is a 17-year-old who lost his father in a car accident and became demoralized. His elder brother Stanley held him tight because they only had their mother and kid sister Ashley. Henry was writing his last papers to graduate from secondary school. He finished and passed with flying colors. A month later, Stanley got a job, but because he had something doing, he asked Henry, who just finished secondary school, to take the job so they can both get income instead of him staying at home just sleeping and doing nothing. Henry started the job and was making money enough to get a new phone, change it at will when any phone comes, invoke, change his clothes at his own disposal. Stanley observed that but never said a word because he felt it was just teenage temperament. It kept on happening, and it didn't occur to Henry and I had the background.
Drinking water is a vital part of a working day, and having the right water source at work keeps you hydrated all day. That's why we at Seaway make our products with one of the best and latest technology in water purification across West Africa. As a corporate customer, you are guaranteed free quarterly Seaway dispenser machine servicing, supplies with Seaway new or clean bottles, and superb customer service care and support. At an affordable rate, you can place your order and begin to refreshingly work your way to a productive day.
The royalties had a pre-eviction dinner party where there was a lot to eat and drink.
Royal reality, royal reality, this is reality, complete package say, royal reality, yelele ama, yelele 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 ama, ama, yelele ama, royal reality, royal reality, this is reality, complete package say, royal reality, yelele ama, yelele 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 ama, ama, yelele ama, yelele 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 ama, ama. Open your eyes and tell me what you see. This is the talent deep inside of you and me. So let it out, it's time to let it show. Come on everybody, take my hand and let us go. Open your eyes and tell me what you see. There is a talent deep inside of you and me. So let it out, it's time to let it show. Come on everybody, take my hand and let us go. Royal reality, this is reality, complete package say, royal reality, yelele ama, yelele 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 ama, ama, yelele ama, yelele 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 ama, ama, yelele ama.
Jim Speckle Travel Hub. It's your go-to travel service provider. Any day, anytime. A travel service you can trust. We offer travel bookings, tour packages, hotel reservations, visa advisory, and lots more. We're located at plot 1041, Kuru Mohammed Avenue, Central Business District, Abuja. For more information, please call +234 802 849 9254 or +234 814 304 8726 or visit www.jimspeckletravelhub.com. Visit social media at Jim Speckle Travels. Jim Speckle Travel Hub. Your happiness is our pride.
The royalties then proceeded to know their fate in the royal house as eviction day had arrived.
Let the eviction begin.
Royal housemate. Royal housemate. If you hear your name, stand. Don Razi, stand. Vina, stand. Tracy Jock, stand. All three of you report to the royal court now. You three have done so well, being a semi-finalist. But this is a game, and in this game, one person sits on the throne. At least today, two of you standing here would leave the royal house.
Neil, return to the royal house. Don Razi. Your journey in the royal house has to continue. Return to the royal house. Your journey in the royal house has come to an end. Leave the royal house now. Your journey in royal house has to continue. Return to the royal house.
Royal housemate. Royal housemate. If you hear your name, stand. Chief praise. Stand. Finest, stand. Grace Child, stand. All three of you report to the royal court now. All three of you have done so well. Being a semi-finalist, in the royal house. But this is a game. Only one person would sit on the throne in the royalty reality TV show season 3, Game of Thrones. At least one or three of you might leave the royal house today.
Finest. Your journey in the royal house has come to an end. Leave the royal house now. Your journey in royal house has to continue. Return to the royal house. Your journey in the royal house has come to an end. Leave the royal house now.
If you hear your name, stand. Gracie, stand. Winstiano, stand. Vanny P, stand. Report to the royal court now. Royal housemates, you all have done well. But just one person will sit on the throne. One or three of you might leave the royal mansion today.
Vanity, your journey in the royal house has to continue. Return to the royal mansion now. Your journey in the royal house has come to an end. Leave the royal mansion now. Your journey in the royal house has to continue. Return to the royal mansion now.
Drinking water is a vital part of a working day, and having the right water source at work keeps you hydrated all day. That's why we at Seaway make our products with one of the best and latest technology in water purification across West Africa. As a corporate customer, you are guaranteed free quarterly Seaway dispenser machine servicing, supplies with Seaway new or clean bottles, and superb customer service care and support. At an affordable rate, you can place your order and begin to refreshingly work your way to a productive day.
If you hear your name, stand. Dara, stand. Wealth, stand. V, stand. All three of you, report to the royal court now. All three of you have done so well in the house. You three have made so much impact in the royal house. Coming into the house, taking the titles of Sir in the house, putting your writing skills out there for the world to see, learning new things in the house. But this is a game. One person would sit on the throne. In today's eviction, all three of you standing here, at least two of you will be leaving the royal mansion today. You've done so well in the royalty reality TV show season 3.
Done well. Your journey in the royal hall has to continue. Return to the royal mansion now. Bearer. Your journey in the royal house has come to an end. Leave the royal mansion now. Your journey in the royal hall has to continue. Return to the royal mansion now.
Boys, stand. Uniglow, stand. Now, housemates, pay keen attention. The power to save one of your fellow housemates is in your hands. Duke and Duchess, you all are to take vote too with the fellow housemates. Now, the Duke, pay attention. When this vote is being casted, you are to count the housemates that raise their hands for each person. And when you are done, you are to report to the royal court. If you would love for Miss Lloyd to remain in the royal mansion, can I see your hands? The Duke counts. If you'd want to save Uniqlo, your hand up. The Duke, count. Now the Duke reports to the royal court with the results. Duke,
Yes, Royal Enforcer.
how many persons voted for Lois?
8,
How many persons voted for Uniqlo?
5.
You may return back into the house.
Thank you, Royal Enforcer.
Lies. Your journey in the royal house has to continue. Uniqlo. Your journey in the royal house have to continue till you have been saved by me. There will be one more eviction day before the last eviction day comes. You all are expected to bring your A game. The eviction show is over.
Royal reality, royal reality, this is reality, complete package say, royal reality, yelele ama. Open your eyes and tell me what you see. This is a talent deep inside of you and me. So let it out, it's time to let it show. Come on everybody, take my hand and let us go. Open your eyes and tell me what you see. There is a talent deep inside of you and me. So let it out, it's time to let it show. Come on everybody, take my hand and let us go. Royal reality, this is reality, complete package say, royal reality, yelele ama. Royal reality, royal reality, this is reality, complete package say, royal reality, yelele ama. your eyes and tell me what you see. This is a talent deep inside of you and me. So let it out, it's time to let it show. Come on everybody, take my hand and let us go. Open your eyes and tell me what you see. There is a talent deep inside of you and me. So let it out, it's time to let it show. Come on everybody, take my hand and let us go. Royal reality, oh. This is reality, oh. Complete package, say. Royal reality, oh. Yelele ama. Yelele, 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 yelele ama. Yama. Yelele ama. Yelele, 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 yelele ama. Yama. Yelele ama. Royal reality, oh. Royal reality, oh. This is reality, oh. Complete package, say. Royal reality, oh. Yelele ama. Yelele, 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 yelele ama. Yama. Yelele ama. Yelele, 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 yelele ama. Yama. Open your eyes and tell me what you see. This is a talent deep inside of you and me. So let it out.